can lose their salvation. So we're in the book of Mark, chapter 11, and Jesus is talking about faith. Faith that can move mountains. And he says in Mark, chapter 11, and verse 22, and Jesus answering said unto them, to the disciples, have faith in God. Verse 23, for verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith. Now, the part I want you to see is a little bit further down. Let me read on. Verse 24. Therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire, when you pray, believe that you receive them, and you shall have them. And when you stand praying, forgive. Oh, this is interesting. When you stand praying, forgive. Verse 25, Mark chapter 11. And when you stand praying, forgive, if you have aught against any. If you have anything against anybody else, when you stand praying, you must forgive. If you have aught against any, why must you forgive? That your Father also, which is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses. So the scripture gives an indication that if someone trespasses against me, the only way that I can get forgiveness of my trespasses is I have to forgive them. Isn't that interesting? This is telling me basically somebody could do something against me, and if I don't forgive them, but they ask me for forgiveness, right? The Lord will forgive them even if I don't forgive them. Or if they go to the Lord and say, Lord, forgive me, I was wrong, I trespassed against Bill, right? They might be going somewhere and never see him again. But yet I hold that in my heart for the rest of my life. Oh, they never told me they forgive me. You don't have to have somebody come and tell you that they were wrong in order for you to forgive them. So if I hold on to that in my life, unforgiveness of trespasses, the Lord said he won't forgive me of my trespasses. So if he don't forgive me of my trespasses, that means I have sin in my life. And Jesus is coming back for a church without spot or wrinkle, no sin. So that means if I don't forgive men their trespass against me, I can lose my salvation by my unwillingness to forgive others. Let me read verse 25 again. And when you stand praying, forgive if you have aught against any, that your Father also, which is in heaven, may forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, verse 26 of Mark chapter 11, but if you do not forgive, listen what's going to happen. Neither will your Father, which is in heaven, forgive your trespasses. You will lose your salvation if you cannot forgive. And I want to say something while I'm thinking about this. There's been a few pastors lately that have come up with things that they have done, most of them, I think, sexually. And it seemed like the church is on a witch hunt. One man did something 40-something years ago. It's a bad thing, absolutely bad thing. And the person they did to is they still can't function. They can't forgive him. They haven't forgiven him. 40 was done, I think, in 1982. And here it is, 24. And they still talking about, I want some restitution. I want some money. You're going to give me some money for what you did to me. I'm not saying the person doesn't deserve restitution or whatever. I'm dealing with the unforgiveness part. Certainly, most certainly, 40 plus years later, you're still saying you got to give me something in order for me to be right in my mind, to feel right about what you did to me. That's unforgiveness. And if that person never gives you restitution, if that person never says to you, I'll never say I'm sorry to you, which I'm assuming from what was heard, he did. But people are saying, oh, you didn't say the whole truth. So since you didn't say the whole truth, you ain't forgiven. That's not true. I just taught a video before this one about liars. All liars are going to have their part in the lake of fire. But just because you didn't confess the total truth of something that you did, You mean to tell me Jesus won't forgive you unless you confess it to the people that you did it to? Because that's what they want him to do. 42 years later, want to come back, confess everything again, and confess everything totally to everybody. And then they say, and then only will you be forgiven by God. Boy, if that was true, I can think of 3 things right now that I'd be in jail for right now because I ain't gonna never, ever confess them to anybody other than the Lord. I already did that. That I did such and such, or this, or that, or that, or this. Because statute of limitation might not be run out. I ain't going to jail for it. I understand grace. I understand mercy. I understand unmerited favor, which you said. That's the same with grace. Well, you can get unmerited grace. Jesus can do something for you, and you say, Lord, what did I do that for? Just because. You didn't ask, but just because. You're doing what I told you to do, and I just felt like blessing you, the favor of God. Unmerited favor, right? So, but grace is there. And here it goes. I just said it. I trespass against somebody. Somebody, wasn't really somebody, I guess. I don't know. Or just to cover it all, the blanket. I trespass against somebody or somebody's or something or some how. Just put it that way. And I asked the Lord a long time ago, forgive me. You think I got to go? First of all, I can't find them. All the people that was involved. There was a lot of people involved. Then another time, I can't find the things that were involved in the trespass. Anyway, it might be in Timbuktu by now. Anyway, the thing. Or the person might be dead. So how am I going to confess to them if they did? But yeah, I confessed it to the Lord. The Lord forgave me. So there it is. Now, at the same time, somebody, a brother was sinning against me, or even people that are not saved sin against me, I'm going to have to deal with that. I'm going to have to deal with Jesus said, if you don't forgive him, right? If you don't forgive me and that trespass against you, I can't forgive you yours. Boy, you talking about making somebody straighten up and fly right? Jesus know how to do it. Boy, he know how to do it to us. Yeah, you want to hold on to this one? You want to hold on to that one? Right? But boy, Jesus said you ain't forgiven. You ain't forgiven. Not that you ain't going and ask that person for forgiveness. You haven't let it go in your heart. You're still holding on to it. Like the song says, think I better let it go. Looks like another love TKO. Really, it's not a love TKO. It's a salvation. Looks like a salvation TKO. Better let it go. You better deal with it. I'll tell you what somebody told me when me and my ex went through our divorce now. And I said this before, so she's dead at this time. So, I ain't going to just tell no lie or nothing like that on, but I'm going to tell you this to help you, lay you inside my world a little bit. So early in our marriage, we were married 27 years. Early in our marriage, both of us committed adultery on each other. But we finally got it straight. And eventually, my wife, ex-wife, got involved with some women who were committing adultery on their husband. Wouldn't care nothing about their husband. Wasn't taking care of their husband, their family. They out there being the busybody, getting all the men they can. But they convinced her that she got married too early. She had kids too early. That she should have went out and clubbed and had all the men she wanted. Then, after all of that, settled down and have a family. And so, eventually, that led to our divorce. And so, a lady saw me and she told me, and she was God sent. She was absolutely God sent. And she told me, she says, the Lord told me to tell you, if you don't let this go, it's going to eat you alive. Because, I'm 42 years old. We've been married 27 years. We've been down this road before. I ain't trying to go nowhere. I'm like complacent to die in this situation. As they say, down this hill. I'm not looking for a new wife. I'm not looking for starting over and all this stuff. So I'm upset. Just the fact that I got to start all over again. You know what I'm saying? And so the woman said to me, said, the Lord told me, tell you, you don't forgive her, this going to eat you up. Well, she said, the Lord, she might have said the Lord said, but she said for sure, if you don't let this go, it's going to eat you up or eat you alive, something like that. So this is what she told me, how she said to fix this, to overcome this. And she was absolutely right. I wish I knew her name. I wish I would run into her again somewhere. And I go, hey, 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 hey. I can't remember her name. I was staying across from in Hooper Field Apartments, across from Hooper Field. If y'all know Andrews Avenue in Fort Rucker, Hooper Field is where they keep the Apache helicopters. Right across from there is on the, I guess, the left or whichever way you come in, left or right, Hooper Field Apartments. And so I lived there, and the woman came over to, well, no, that's right. I had moved out of there. I moved closer to Fort Rucker, just before you get to Glory to Him Fellowship. Well, you know what? It's not important that I remember where I was when she told me this. What is important is this. She said, I'm going to tell you how to get over this. She said, every time it comes into your mind, what happened between you and your spouse, speak a blessing over. And I'm saying in my mind, yeah, right, you, SOB, GDEMF, I'm saying all of this in my mind. I'm trying to tell you the truth now. I'm trying to tell you how to let this thing go, how to let trespasses go. So I don't know how long after that was, that I said, I was just so hurt. I'm like, man, a man is built to be that provider and that leader. When you fail at that, when the family fails, it hurts you as a man, because you were designed to keep the family alive. Once you have a wife and you have children and so forth, you're designed to make that function. So when you fail at that, it's a hurtful thing. Whether it was your fault or not, irrelevant to the fact that the man part of you that says, I'm supposed to be the man and make this work, is going to hurt you. Whether it's your fault, her fault, or both of y'all fault. Doesn't matter. So I don't know when or how long after that I started saying with gritted teeth, and as I said, with tears running down my face, Lord bless her. If I'm not the man she needs, the life that we're living, the Christian life, wasn't what she needed, just bless her to find whatever she needs, whatever she wants, just give it to her, good job, good man, house, car, just bless her to be successful. And when I did that, it broke it. It broke that root of bitterness, where the Bible says, whereby many of us are defiled. It broke that root of bitterness in me towards her and the things that caused our divorce. It broke it to the point that me and her both started going together. Now, I'm speaking for me. I don't know about her. But anyway, we started going over my son's house, who at that time was living here in Ozark. He's no longer living here. For 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all this together. Even went back up home, North Alabama. Saw all of our friends and her family and taking pictures together with the grandkids and other kids and ex-in-laws and all of that. And somebody pulled me to the side. I ain't gonna say who it was, a couple of them. Said, man, you know what? We just been watching y'all. And man, y'all act like y'all cool with this divorce thing. Man, y'all get a long time. I said, yep. I said, man, how y'all doing this? How y'all not mad or bitter at each other? I said, God. It was Jesus. It was Jesus. And then I told them, this woman told me, and when I did it, it broke it. I said, and matter of fact, I begin to feel sorry for her in my heart. To like, yeah, Lord, bless her with somebody. Nobody want to be alone. I don't want to be alone. Nobody want to be alone the rest of their life, especially if you've been married. Obviously, you have a heart to be married. So bless her. Bless her with a good job, take care of the kids. 2 of my kids still in the house with her, take care of the kids and everything, and I'm going to help because I was paying $600 a month child support. I paid it for like 2 years after it stopped. I still paid it for 2 years because my children didn't ask to come into this world. And I felt though I had the means to take care of them, even though I was no longer obligated. I think after they turned 18 or something like that, I still felt I want them to help them to be able to get financially stable and get on their own feet and so forth. And so, yeah, 600 a month. She didn't ask me for that. I said, I'll give you. I think she wanted less. Now I give you 600. You see, because I realized my children didn't ask to come into this world. They didn't ask for mom and daddy to divorce. So whatever she did with, what she did with the money, I don't know. I know I gave it to her. That's on her. That's between her and the law, what she did with that money. And many, many, many times since my kids are 30, my youngest is 34, 35, something like that. Anyway, and we still help them with money today. Y'all know how it is. They ain't never out your pocket till you die. That's when they get out your pocket. But anyway, it's a blessing to be able to help them, to have the money to be able to help them, and so forth, and see my grandbabies and enjoy all that and everything. Though she passed quite some years ago, about 7 or 8 years ago at this time, this 2024, July 2nd, 2024. But anyway, and even someone that was involved in our divorce, I went up to them and talked to them personally just to try myself to see where my heart was, right? Did I truly forgive them like I said I did? It's easy to forgive somebody you ain't going to see no more. Yeah, I forgive them. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But to see them and all the thoughts come back, you say you conniving little whatever, did you truly forgive them? It's a test. And so I tested myself. I went and purposely they were trying to get in the car and get away. They had seen me because I saw them out of the corner of my eye. I was looking like this. And I saw them look over at me. When they saw me, how somebody look away, they don't want to. I just did a U-turn, went on around a tree and around some cars. Hey, what's up? Yeah, how you doing? And I made them I was just rattling off stuff. Right, one thing right after the other. I hadn't seen them in years, right? I rattling one thing off after another, trying my own self to see if I forgave them. And when we got ready to leave, I said, God bless you. I said, they had a family and everything, children and everything. I said, God bless you. Hope you keep having a good job, had a nice vehicle and everything. I just spoke a blessing over them right there to their face. Now, I know they probably went home and go, well, son of a gun. Never would have thought that would have happened. But anyway, I knew then I had forgiven. Though I got the memory. And people say this in closing. Well, if you still remember, you ain't forgiven. That's a lie. Jesus remembered everything that they did to him when he got up out of the tomb. He remembered who did what to him. He even had total recall when the two disciples was going to Armaeus, or wherever, how you say, Armaeus, right? And he suddenly appeared amongst them, and they were talking about some things, and he said, what things? And then they started to tell him about him, the things that had happened to him. So Jesus had total recall of everything that happened to him. So when you tell people, if you remember what happened to you, then you ain't forgiven, that's not true. That's not true. We will one day be wiped, have that memory wiped clean after the 1,000-year reign of Christ, after the final judgment, after the new heaven and the new earth has been restored. And then God, the Father himself, will come down from heaven and be among us and be our God. At that time, Jesus will wipe away all tears, and the former things will not even come into our minds. So eventually, we are going to have our memories wiped clean, but they're not wiped clean yet. Now, this brother Bill, Pastor Winston Chain Ministry down here in Ozark, or up here in Ozark, Crazy, Alabama, depending on where you live from Ozark, Alabama, right? If you want to get in touch with me, I'll give out the church number. It's 334-379-0964. If you want to talk to me directly on the phone and you have never called me, I don't have your number, text me first. If you call me, I'm not going to answer you. Because, he said I could call him. You can, but if I don't know who you are or know your number, I'm not going to answer. Get so many telemarketers. They're always asking for money. I can't stop. I just hate to hang the phone up on them. So I'm going to give them $20. about every time they call. Now, I said, you know what? You're going to be broke. I do give to other organizations. I'm not trying to put a feather in my cap, but believe me, I give outside of other organizations other than Winds of Change Ministries. Okay. So I just want you to know that you can call me, but if you're going to call me, you got to make sure, if you never call me, text me first. Or you can just respond with a comment on this post, and I check my comments every day. So then you can converse through the comments. All right. I have other videos. Just click on my other videos. I have a video on my thing. When you click on my videos, you will see it says +6, and it says PT1, the pre-wrath rapture. But it also says the pre-wrath rapture and the third coming of Jesus, but you can't see the whole title. And it'll say a plus. It'll have a, where's the corner? I can't even get my finger. Plus and a 6 in that corner, right? Click on that one. It says +6 with that title, PT1, the pre-wrath rapture. And when it opens up, it will successfully go through each video. You just listen to one video. You don't have to go find PT2, PT3, PT4 to PT5. You just keep watching. It'll just keep going through. There's also a bonus video at the end of it, Black Swan Revelations, the Bill Verdell. So I'm going against a pre-trib guy that I told him all the scriptures that disprove the pre-trib. And he got so caught up, other than the rapture of the church, and was talking about the book of Revelation, he got caught up with me talking about a believer can lose their salvation. He got caught up with that so much, and it bothered him so much that we didn't even do a part 2 on the book of Revelation. And I hope when he realizes that he was wrong in the book of Revelation, that he will get in touch with me. I get in touch with him, and we make amends, and we go on and do that video on the post-trib view. And just make it right with the Lord and make it right with people. All right, God bless you. If you like this video, please share, right? Go watch my other videos if I teach something else that you like or it's controversial and you've been telling somebody else and you say, here it is right here. As Jeff Foxworthy say, here's your sign. Here it is. You just go ahead and click on that thing, click on share, and it'll say copy link or, copy. Click on copy. Go to that person's number in your cell phone, open up messages, and click on the message, and then click on where you see my video is in your little message block. Just click on it. It'll feed it into there as, and it'll be attached to their number as a message. Then when they look at that message, all you got to do is click on it. You know what I'm talking about. All they have to do is click on it, and it'll take them straight to my video, and you can let them listen personally on what I got to say. All right, God bless you, and bye-bye.